broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We'll get you out of here before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. So let's take a peek at who's on the show with us today. Kirk Stewart will be signing in momentarily. We got David Racy, Javon Burts, and Joey Tron, and here's the lineup for this evening. Racy, Burts, Stewart, Tron, and then I will close this one out. All right, we got a game in the books now. Houston with a 3-1 victory over Toronto. Afternoon affair. Got two from Major League Baseball, two from the WNBA. We'll have coverage on both of these games here on the drive-thru for today. So let's go ahead. Let's get the show started. Let's go ahead and welcome in David Racy. You'll catch him over at Pick Dodge Ping. We'll bring David in right now. Coverage from the Brewers game. We'll get him here in just a second. I think we're all set with a 3-1 victory over Toronto. Afternoon affair. Got two from Major League Baseball. We gotta get my volume down on my playback monitor here, so we'll get him here. David, what's going on?
Not much, Tony. I'm, we got free agency going on. My Pistons took on Tobias Harris again. My Wings are not really doing much, so it's kind of a sad day for me. But I was hoping the Wings could get Stamkos or Marcia, so I was hoping the Pistons would not get Tobias Harris. And so I haven't gotten what I've wished for, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you're just in the same boat as Laker fans who think they're top shelf material and they're finding they're about middle shelf. They're probably in the DeMar DeRozan stakes.
I know I'm bottom of the shelf, so there's a difference.
Great value, Kroger.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. That's what you're shopping for. All right, here we go. Brewers and Rockies head-to-head tonight. We see the Brewers $1.50, total 11.5.
Yeah, just two games here tonight, but I like this one here. We got the Brewers coming in with a real comfortable lead in this NL Central race over the Cardinals. I know the Cardinals are kind of charging hard after a slow start, but Milwaukee still has, I think, a 5 or 6 game lead on them. But they are only 23-21 on the road, which could cause some concern. But against this Rockies pitching staff, I think Milwaukee can get it done. I like them to cover the run line in this game. When you look at the Brewers, they're 7th in runs scored this season. They're 9th in team ERA. They're just a very solid team overall. We'll see if that offense can continue here as we get closer to the playoffs. I know in past years their offense has really dried up, but so far they've looked great, and they should feast here tonight. Colorado's going with Austin Gomber, who has some pretty ugly numbers here on the season. You look at his recent starts, 4 earned runs or more in 4 straight starts. So in those 4 starts, he's pitched a total of 20 innings, and he's allowed 21 earned runs. So he has really struggled recently. He faces a really good Milwaukee lineup. For the Brewers, they are going with an opener today. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name, but Bryce Wilson is going to be the bulk reliever. And, he's had a pretty solid season. He's had a couple of rough starts here in his last 4 outings. He's had 2 rough ones, but he's been okay. He's been decent enough, and I think he can shut down a Colorado team that really isn't that good. So when it comes down to it, I'm just fading this Rockies pitching staff. They're dead last in team ERA this season, and it's not even really close. They're at 5.6 or 5.65, somewhere around there, and the next closest team is sitting at 4.65. So the Rockies pitching staff is a disaster. I'll fade them and take a really good Brewers team on the run line.
All right, David Hill be on the Brewers run line. Here lay the run and a half, about a -101 in this one. The thing here, the only thing the Rockies have going for them on occasion here at home is if the bats wake up, right? It turns into one of those run fest type of games. Other than that, again, you said it's a close game. They're going to have a hard time. And they didn't help their cause very much when that showing they had against the White Sox either.
I know, yeah. They made the White Sox offense look like it was elite. But yeah, and Colorado does play their better baseball at home. They're I think I just said they're 16-24 at home, so they are kind of much better at home. But like I said, the pitching staff just isn't there. And you look at Gomber, who actually was okay early in the season. I mean, he wasn't good, but he wasn't terrible. But recently, just not good, giving up a ton of earned runs, a ton of hits, and I just think this Milwaukee lineup can do damage. I'm relying on Wilson to have a good start, or I guess good bulk innings here. And like I said, he's been a little bit inconsistent. His last 2 road starts against the Padres, 5 earned runs, and against the Tigers, 7 earned runs, which is cause for concern. But again, I think that Brewers offense can help him out here.
Yeah, just to kind of clarify things here, it will be Rob Zastrinsky to pitch the first inning. Then Bryce Wilson will take the bulk reliever role, and so he's a pseudo starter, primary starter. That's what you call him these days. So that's how it's going to work here for Milwaukee. So you're going to see more of Wilson than you will see of Zastrinsky, who figures to just take the first inning. That's about it there.
Hey, that is a great pronunciation there. I was not even going to try to attempt that one.
That is a rough one there. All right, David, here on Brewers, here on the Run Line tonight, 8:40 Eastern Time. All right, David, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, limited card tonight. We know there's 2 in prime time from WNBA and baseball. What do you have going over at Pick Dog's Premium?
Yeah, I just have one baseball play tonight, just one in the 2 games. Like you said, not much going on tonight. I don't really have an official play in the Copa America with the USA game, but that should be entertaining at least with those 2 games going on tonight. See if the US can advance to the knockout stages or not. But yeah, for me, just one play tonight. Back at it tomorrow with a full slate of MLB. So head on over to the site, join for the night, join long term, or pair me up with one of these other fantastic cappers.
That's right, guys. I get on board here with Dave Racy over at Pick Dog Premium. You guys like that 7-day all sports pass here early in the week? Get all of David's premium plays for his baseball, WNBA, and remember the promo code PICK at checkout. We'll save you that 15% off. Yep. As always, David, great having you on the site. We'll catch up with you next week, but we can always catch your work over written work over at the sites.
Yeah, you just head on over to Sports Chat Place or Pick Dogs, click on that free pick tab at the top of the screen, click on whatever sports you're looking for, and you can get a great write-up, great analysis, and some stats and trends. So head on over to the sites, check it out.
Check it out, guys. Check out David Racy over at Pick Dogs Sports Chat Place. Get his written content. All right, David, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, I appreciate it, Tony. Have a good one.
You as well. David Racy here on the drive-through. No chat pick today, just not enough games on the schedule here for the chat pick of the day. So we'll continue here on the show as we're ready to roll here. WNBA action. We'll go ahead and welcome in here Javon Burts. You can catch him over at Pick Dogs. We'll bring Javon in here in just a second. We'll have coverage today here we actually both games covered for you here today. So we'll get him here in just a second. See here, we got Javon. Here we go. Javon, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Tony? How are you?
Doing great. All right, here we go to the W tonight as we got Wings and Storm. The game's at 10 Eastern Time, 9 NBA TV to have it here. Big line here with the Storm, 11.5, total 167.5.
Yeah, and I'm on the Storm. Now, this is the second of a back-to-back, both being played. Oh, the first one was played in Seattle. The second one's also being played in Seattle. And it's just a situation where, the cream rises to the top in the WNBA, and the Storm are the better team by far. You have a Dallas team who's 1-9 straight up, and not only that, they're 2-8 against the spread in their last 10. So with those type of results, I'm going the other way. It's really as simple as that. You had the first game, and the Storm started off rocky. They lost the first quarter. Then after that, it was a wash. The Storm took off in the second quarter, third quarter, and then they evened out in the fourth quarter. At the end of the day, end of that night, which was Friday night, it was a 20-point shellacking, 97 to 76. And they didn't even shoot the ball that well, at least from three. They only shot 29% from three-point land, and they're a good three-point shooting team. So if they start hitting those threes, then you might see a 30-point victory as far as I'm concerned. It's looking like the Wings are among the worst teams in the W. So whenever I see them, I just want to fade them, and that's what I'm going to do tonight. And in the NBA, it's usually when you have these home and homes, the second game you usually see the underdog and/or the team that got their ass whipped, bringing in the second night. In the W, it doesn't pan out like that a lot of times. So, I'm gonna keep on rolling with the huge favorite in this one.
All right, Javon, here on the Storm. Remember, there's only 40 games in the WNBA, not the 82. So the games, the regular season, a little bit more important here in these spots, not as much travel. But one thing to note here with the Storm is this is a long homestand here for Seattle, and they've really taken care of business on this homestand, pounding Dallas, Indiana, and Connecticut.
Yeah, absolutely. And those, teams that they should pound at least two of those teams, so it's just a situation where, like you said, the game, there's not as many games, so the importance of each and every game, is heightened. There's no nights off for these women. And you're dealing with a Storm team. They're in the mix as, one of the elite, as far as the one of the elite teams, or vying for position as being one of the elite teams. You have them, you have Vegas in the Western Conference, them, Vegas, Minnesota, so, and then on the East you have the Sun, the Liberty, teams like that. So it's, they trying to be in the mix. They're trying to be in that conversation as one of the one of the elite teams, and leave the other teams behind, because after those five, it's a real drop off, to be quite frank. So I mean, you could say maybe Phoenix, because they have Brittany Griner back, but I'll leave them out of the mix. But the big five, the Storm is part of that.
Yeah, no doubt. Storm part of that. Of course, the Wings on a road trip after a road trip, right? They just had a 4-game road trip, came in for the one game homestand against Minnesota, and then they're back out on the road. It's like being on the road 7 straight times, because that's not really a home game, because you're packing and unpacking and packing again.
Yeah. So it's not a good situation, for them being on the road, living in that bag, So it is what it is, and they, like I said, they're not a good team in the first place, and then you add in the road situation for them, traveling, being on a road trip and then going back home, then having to kick it back on the road. It's not a good situation. So, I mean, they can. I mean, they did they did pull off an upset win, in that lone win in the past 10 games, a pretty huge one, but I don't see that happening in this spot, not at all.
Yeah, the Wings have lost, failed to cover their past 4 on the road, and it'll be Javon here on the Storm, laying the 11.5 here against the Wings. All right, Javon, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, we do have action from baseball, 2 on the board, 2 from the WNBA. Javon enjoying a great past 7 days. What do you have going on over at Pick.com Premium?
Yeah, well, tonight, nothing, because my game popped off earlier. It was a win, so Houston got it done, so what I'll say tonight, for tonight's action, hop up on this play right here. It's a free one. Don't have anything up on the board as far as premium plays, but tomorrow we're locked and loaded again, looking to continue, my moderate success that I've been having. It's baseball, what it is. It's a grind, So, check me out something long-term, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, yearly. Football's right around the corner. I was gonna, give out a team total on college football, but it's a little bit too early even for me, to give that out. So,
Really?
yeah. See, right. I'm not. Listen, it's on the horizon, but I'm not quite there yet to to seriously give my thoughts on these teams. You know what I mean? I gotta be like maybe 40 days, in to really have my sights set on what I'm gonna do for college football, but we're about a little under 60 days out, so that feel still hasn't come out yet. Once that feel still comes out, then we'll be digging, because he gets into that in-depth research, so I take some things out of his publication, you know what I mean. So his publication will come out soon, and once that's there, then we'll be ready to get real in depth in that. Yeah. So it's all here at Sports Chat Place and Pick Dogs. There's a lot of us doing well on the website, so there's some winners out there tonight, that's for damn sure.
That's right, guys. Got Javon Burts over at Pick Dog Premium. Great results last 7 days. We consider the long-term pass. Remember that 7-day pass? Get a lot of Javon's WNBA and MLB here for the 7 days. And pick it to promo code. You'll save that 15% off. All right, Javon. It's always great having you show. Have a great rest of the week. We'll catch up with you again here on Friday. And by the way, let them know about your video series if you got it rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. The video series, this was on a 4-day winning streak. Nothing out today. There was nothing out yesterday. Tomorrow we'll be back on, ready to try to make it 5 straight as far as the video shorts go. So yeah, just trying to put it together. Premium side, free pick side, all of that.
That's right, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications. When Javon drops his video series, you get it right away. All right, Javon, have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you Friday.
Absolutely. Have a great night. Win. And see you on Friday.
See you on Friday. Javon Burts here on the Drive Thru. All right, let's continue here on the show, guys. We're ready to roll here with more like WNBA coming up. No chat pick of the day, just not enough games here for the to have a chat pick of the day. All right, let's continue here on the Drive Thru. Kirk is up next. More WNBA. We're going to get you the doubleheader tonight from the WNBA. Catch him over at Pick Dog. We may squeeze out some Copa America from him as well. As you know, he's involved in the soccer. Maybe some player props, as we know he's involved with that as well. So we'll bring Kirk Stewart here, ready to roll here with the W. Let's see if we can get him here in just a second here. Kirk, what's happening?
Not much. How we doing?
Doing great. All right, here we go tonight in the W here. For some reason, they're running these games at the same time. But about their West Coast team, Sun at makes no sense. You can start them in earlier. Sun at Mercury here. Sun 3, total 158.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely get into some soccer later, but I'm going to start with the WNBA here. Sun have been one of my teams all year, but they're really, really in a rough stretch here. Mercury are coming off a double-digit favorites against the Fever, and they lost that one outright. I think this is where the Sun rebound and start their winning streak again. This is in Phoenix, but Phoenix is, as I said, they played 2 games. They played 2 days ago. The Sun are off 3-4 days rest. I really think they really need to get back to their defense. They've had a little lull in the schedule now. The last 3 games for the Mercury have gone under. This is set up really well for the Sun as they are priding in their own defense. And the Sun only scored 47 points last time the Mercury only scored 47 points last time against the Sun. So I don't trust this Mercury team against the Sun. I think the Sun match up really, really well with the Mercury. So I like the Sun here minus 2.5.
All right, 2.5. I think 3 is probably now the number most places now. There's been moved up here. Let's see, 3. It's mostly 3 in most of the books here right now off that 2.5. But yeah, interesting note. And you can also note the travel spot here for the Sun, right? It's almost that same situation where we've seen with in the previous game where you have this Sun team dealing with these one-day homestands. This is, they've had 2 games on the road, 1 at home, back on the road 3, then 1 at home. Kind of a funky scheduling spot here for the Sun, where they've been hit with with travel, multiple travel days, and single home games.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird scheduling thing. I don't know exactly why they're flying right back out to Phoenix after having a home game on Friday, but I guess the schedule's just that way. But I think they've had enough time to just get back out there. And I mean, if they want to be considered one of the contenders, this is the type of game you have to win, and I do think they get it done.
All right, we got Kirk here on the Sun here, laying the 3 here now against the Mercury. All right, we got a light schedule card here today, so we'll look at some of the Copa. We know what's at stake here for USA. They need to win, get some help in the second game. It's going to be tough. It's tough on both ends, but we'll look at USA, Bolivia here in Copa tonight, 9 Eastern time. Uruguay will be, let's see here, plus 155 on the side of USA. It's a 3-way line here. Draw 215 and Uruguay plus $2.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been watching soccer all day. Portugal just snuck by Slovenia in the Euros, and I gave my only premium of the day, I will say. I've been pissed off about it all day. I had the Belgium keeper to get 3+ saves. The France had 19 shots and only 2 on target. I never take lines at like minus 150, but this just looked too good. But France they just couldn't put the ball on net. But anyways, looking into tonight here, I'm actually taking the chance on Uruguay plus 195 on the money line. USA needs to win. They can't rely on the other game for a result here, as Panama and Bolivia are going head-to-head at the same time. Panama wins, they're probably through. U.S. needs to win this one, I'd say, at least by 1 goal, maybe 2 to be safe, because Bolivia has really not shown anything. And Uruguay scored 7 goals in their 8 goals in their first 2 games. They just look like, them and Argentina look like the best 2 teams right now in Copa. I don't think the U.S. has enough to get it done. In all honesty, as a bettor, I would be taking Uruguay here at almost plus 200.
Yeah, Uruguay here to win. It's the 3-way line, so the draws lose. So it's Uruguay $2 here on the 3-way line. Bolivia, Panama. Panama controls their destiny. They're going to be $1.80. The draw $3.20. Bolivia, big dog at plus 500. Bolivia really hasn't shown much.
No, Bolivia hasn't shown anything. That game, I have a video up with Goran. I forget exactly what my pick is in that game, but I do think I have Panama first half money line. I think you don't really want to lay 180 with Panama here, but I think they should come out early, and Bolivia's shown nothing. They're already out of this tournament, so they have nothing to play for. Panama should play with some fire under them after they just beat the U.S. So Panama first half money line I'm seeing at around plus 100 or plus 110 even some places. So I like that line.
I know tomorrow we close out the group stages in Copa. Both teams have advanced here. We know the teams advanced. I believe in this group here. Brazil, Colombia are going head-to-head. Looks like Brazil, $1.15, draw $2.60. Colombia, the plus 330 on the other side.
Yeah, they unbeaten in their last 25 games, and not many people know how good of a team they are. They've won 9 straight, and I hope this game is firecrackers. Like Belgium, France, I expected firecrackers. It was nothing. But this game, Colombia's already through. They've won their first 2 games, but they're not going to bench anyone. They're not going to risk losing a game after 25-game winning streak to their rivals in Brazil. And Brazil didn't show much in the first game, but they won 4-1 against Paraguay in the second. So I'm expecting goals here. The line isn't really too bad. I'm getting it at minus 108 for over 2.5. You can also back both teams to score. I think it's at like minus 114. That's moving around a little. But I definitely think both teams are scoring here, as Brazil's look kind of shaky. They've only given up 1 goal, but they've looked shaky at the back.
Head-to-head with Brazil, Colombia tomorrow will be Costa Rica, Paraguay. Big dog here, Costa Rica plus $3. The draw $2.30. Paraguay plus 105.
Yeah, I'm all over Paraguay here, plus 105. I think they're the better team here. Costa Rica has yet to score in this tournament, and Paraguay at least showed some life in both games. They scored in both games, so I think Paraguay's the team here. Costa Rica, they did tie Brazil, but then they got destroyed 3-0 against Colombia. So I would take Paraguay here on the plus money line.
9 Eastern time, July 4th, we get to the knockout stages. Argentina, Ecuador. Argentina 225, draw 310. Now this will be the 90-minute line here, because we're just going 90 minutes here. Ecuador plus $7, but we do have extra time. We'll have kicks if we go. Of course, they are now in knockout stages here.
Yeah, I haven't really done too much research on this one, but I know with South American teams, it's always a battle. I mean, Chile played Argentina 0-0 till the 89th minute. These South American teams, they're just all-out battles. I would probably take the under 2.5 here at first glance. I think Ecuador are going to defend for their lives and try to hold on as long as possible. And Argentina, they haven't scored more than 2 goals in any game in this, but they also haven't conceded a single goal. So I'm going under 2.5 in that one.
Another knockout game that said is Venezuela and Canada. Canada may be the only team from the CONCACAF to get into the knockout stages. Venezuela plus 165, draw $2. Canada plus 185 on Friday knockout game. This is the 90-minute line.
Yeah, I mean, this one is intriguing because Venezuela won all 3 of their games. I'm pretty sure. I think they won the last one. And they've been the biggest surprise, I'd say, in Copa, for a draw that had Mexico and Ecuador that I thought were definitely the top 2 teams in that group. Mexico looked terrible, and yeah, Venezuela topped the group. So this is going to be a really fun matchup against the Canada team they're up and coming. I don't think they're there yet. They could definitely get by this game, and going to the semifinals would be a huge success for them. But whoever they come up in the semifinals, I don't think they're going to win. But I would honestly lean Canada here in terms of I wouldn't take the 90-minute line. I don't know if these two teams have ever played each other, to be honest. So it's kind of tough to see what you can expect in this one. But I would probably lean team to advance Canada in this one. I don't know if that line's out yet, but.
All right, there you go. With the Copa America, we move over to the Euros tomorrow. We continue the knockout stages. So we got a couple games on tap tomorrow. Romania and Netherlands, big line here. Netherlands 260 favorite. This is a 90-minute line. 260 there, the draw plus 380. Romania plus 750.
Yeah, Romania's been surprisingly good in this tournament, but I like the Netherlands a lot. I think they have one of the best defenses here. I think they hold a clean sheet. I'm going with Romania under 0.5 goals. We've seen 5 of the 6 games here of both teams not score, which has been pretty boring, to be honest, as a fan. I mean, we had that 0-0 today with Slovenia, Portugal. That was exciting, 0-0, but that's as exciting as it's going to get. Netherlands, they have Van Dijk, they have Ake, they have Dumfries. They're just a very solid team, and they held France scoreless, which isn't too hard right now considering France can't score, but I think Netherlands is going to be in full control of this game. The books agree with me on that one, so I'm going team total under for Romania in this one.
All right, we close out round of 16 in the Euros here. Austria and Turkey. We see Austria $5, the draw 230, Turkey plus 320 on the 90-minute line.
Yeah, I'm taking both teams to score and Austria with the result here. I think I'm getting like a plus 250 or something in this one. Austria topped the group with Netherlands and France. They really showed that they're here to win. I don't think anyone would be surprised here if you've been watching this tournament if they go all the way to the finals. They're on the easier side. They play the winner of Romania and Netherlands. They already beat the Netherlands in the group stage, and then they'd play Switzerland or England. England is probably going to lose to Switzerland, so Switzerland, Austria really being the semifinal of a Euro, which is shocking to say, but Austria has conceded in every game. Turkey has scored 5 goals in their 3 games, so this is why I'm going with both teams to score, but Austria, 6 goals in their last 2 games, so Austria and both teams to score is to play in this one.
Austria, both teams scored BTTS there, Austria and Turkey there. We got a couple of quarterfinal matches set up. This is a monster game, July 5th, quarterfinal. Spain and Germany here. This is monster game here. 90-minute line has Spain plus 160. The draw 215. Germany plus 180.
Yeah, this one might be a little biased because I lived in Germany for 7 years, but I think Spain has been the best team in the tournament this year. But since Germany is playing at home, I think this is a 50-50 game. I'm not betting this one. I'm just watching it as a fan. I do think the France versus Portugal game, there's some money to be made in that one. But the Spain-Germany, I think that's the final of the Euros. I think whoever wins this game is winning the whole tournament.
All right, we got the other quarterfinal set here for Saturday. It's England here against us. England just getting through. Boy, they've not been impressive. Boy, the English fans are not happy with the squad, but they got into the quarters. England and Switzerland. England plus 120, the draw $2. Switzerland plus 275 on the 90-minute.
Yeah, I would look here at the 90-minute for Switzerland, or I would look at team to advance Switzerland at plus 140. I've talked so much about England on my own series. I just can't start this rant again right now because it gets me so mad. But Switzerland beat the defending champs Italy 2-0. They almost beat Germany until they conceded very, very late. This is one, as I said, Austria and Switzerland are really the 2 sleeper teams left in this. And with the way England's been playing, if they score first, they defend the rest of the game. Switzerland has showed they can score. They scored in every game in this tournament. And England barely scored. I mean, this is an embarrassing English team. Everyone knows it. And Southgate has not figured out what to do with the talent. Probably top 3 talented team in this tournament, but I'm definitely going with Switzerland in this one.
All right, so your thoughts here as we're getting deeper into these tournaments now. We'll start here on the Copa side, your team to win. I know you like to look at the value, right?
Yeah, I think I'm going with Brazil. Brazil or Colombia. I really think these are the 2 strongest teams. Uruguay, I'd say, is a sleeper. I just don't think Argentina has enough in the tank. I know they haven't conceded. I just don't think they go out, win Copa, and then they go out or win the World Cup and then they win Copa. I know they're probably the favorites right now, but if I'm looking for value, I'm looking as Brazil or Colombia, maybe even Uruguay, but definitely a South American team. I think all 5 South American teams advanced, or even 6, Ecuador, Venezuela. Yeah, it's crazy.
There you go, all 6 moving up. And on the Euro side, what do you see?
Yeah, I got the winner of Germany, Spain winning it all. I parlayed Brazil and Germany at the beginning of this at like plus 2,000 odds or something, and I'm sticking with that. I'm going with my home side, but if Germany loses, I think Germany's been the second best team, and that's hard for me to say, but Spain just looks too good. They look like that Iniesta, Xavi Spain right now with how they're playing, so they're impossible to play.
All right, got any player props, team props here? Moving on into both of these tournaments.
I would look towards Darwin Nunez, leading goal scorer in Copa. I know he's scored twice, but he's had so many chances. If Uruguay goes far, it's going to be as far as Darwin Nunez goes. I don't know what the exact odds are on him right now, but that would be the one I'm looking for in Copa. In Euros, it's tough. I mean, if Germany gets knocked out, I don't think it'll be Musiala, but that's tough. I don't have anyone in the Euros. I don't have any props. Maybe player of the tournament, I would go with Toni Kroos for Germany or Rodri for Spain. I think those would be my 2 favorites for that.
Most impressive goalkeeper remaining in both tournaments that could win that.
I would have to go with Argentina's Emi Martinez right now just because he hasn't conceded. But I just don't like backing Argentina. I don't like backing a team that wins in the World Cup and then they have to win a second tournament. It's just happens so rarely, but he has been the best goalkeeper so far in this tournament. And let me think. I would have said Slovenia's goalie if they advanced, but I don't even know who's really been that good. Switzerland's goalie hasn't even had too much to do. Like Jan Sommer against Italy, he didn't have much to do. Italy just disappointed. He was good in the group stage. Pickford, I can't back him. I can't back anyone English right now. I think Neuer or Unai Simon could really win it. I think there's going to be a lot of shots in this game, and as I said already, I really think that whoever wins that Germany-Spain game is going to win it all. So they'll probably go as far as their keeper goes. I mean, they have 2 of the best goalies in the world, so I'd probably back one of them. Mike Mignon for France hasn't had to do too much, and Portugal's goalie made a massive save today, and he was massive in the penalties, saving all 3. So he might have the edge there, but I do think France knocks out Portugal.
There you go. From the expert here, of course, Kirk Stewart. Check out his videos over at Pick Dog's YouTube channel, as he does a lot of content there with Goran on the soccer. And for the show, he's coming here on the Connecticut Sun here, laying the points. All right, Kirk, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Premium here for action tonight. Of course, we have a couple on the board from baseball, WNBA, 2 on the board here from Copa. What do you have going over at Pick Dog Premium?
Yeah, actually, same with Javon. I have nothing up tonight. I had that one play that I talked about. And yeah, I don't know. I just have nothing else today, but I already have a play up for WNBA tomorrow. 4-game slate there, 15-game slate in MLB. So I'll have stuff up for that tomorrow as well. I'll probably have a couple soccer plays up tomorrow. Still finalizing what I want to go with, but definitely tomorrow will be a bigger day.
That's right, guys. You got to go over at Pick Dogs. No better time than now to get on that 7-day All Sports Pass. Done with coverage from WNBA as well as MLB. But, of course, on these 2 great tournaments in the soccer world, where we're getting deeper into the Euros as well as Copa. So no better time now to get that 7-day pass and use that promo code Pick It. Checkout. You'll save 20% off. Of course, Kirk also is involved in player props, team props as well. All right, Kirk, as always, great having you on the show. Let everybody know we talked a lot of soccer, but you also cover baseball on the video series as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I have my separate individual video series where I go over MLB over-unders. Usually choose between 2 to 3 games, depending how big the slate is, depending what lines I like. and tell you whether I want to go over or under on those. I look at the pitching matchups, how the teams have been hitting, and just like different angles to show you kind of how I'm looking at these games. So I have a video out for that daily as well, so make sure to check that out.
That's right, guys. So check it out, Kirk Stewart. Make sure to like, subscribe, set notifications. When Kirk drops these videos, you get them right away. All right, Kirk, have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you later in the week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Got it. Kirk Stewart here on the drive through. We'll continue here with our coverage as we're going to welcome in Joey Tron here in just a second. And I got to get my pick out there because it's going to start pretty soon. I don't want to. We're going to bring it up here real quick. I'll flash it and then we'll get to Joey's pick here in just a second here. Let's see what we got here. 1 second. I'm going Mets team total over 5.5 tonight, unless it started. May it started. Let me see. Did I screw that one up? I did screw it up, right? Yeah, we're almost going to start there. No, I still have some time. All right, Mets team total is my pick over 5.5 plus 165. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. We're going to go ahead and welcome in Joey Tron. You can catch him over at Pick Dodge Premium. Ready to roll. And we got our first team season win total of the year. And it's Joey Tron. I like that. We'll bring him in right now. Joey, what's happening?
Hey, Tony, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. All right, here we go. We're into July. Football's not too far away, and of course, it's time to talk some football here with Joey Tron. You're going to be looking at the season win total tonight.
Yeah, college football honestly can't come quick enough. But with that being said, I like Wisconsin to go over 7 wins. They've had back-to-back seasons now with 7 wins, and this is no doubt a pivotal year for their head coach, Luke Fickell. I like this number specifically because we don't have a hook in play. Of course, you want to win a bet, but at the absolute worst, this will push. So dating back to 2009, Wisconsin has only had 1 season where they had less than 7 wins, and that was in 2020 with the COVID year, and they went 4-3. Outside of that, Wisconsin has really been good. They've always come through. They've had 8 or 9 wins almost every single season dating back to 2009, like I just said. 247 Sports has the Wisconsin offensive line ranked 4th among the Big Ten, and I think that's huge with Tyler Van Dyke stepping in and being the quarterback for them. But looking at their schedule, these are games that I see as, I don't want to say a lock because there's no such thing as a lock, but games that I see as a win for Wisconsin. Home against Western Michigan and South Dakota. I think they can pull off the win at USC. I think they'll win at home against Purdue, and I think they'll pick up wins on the road against Rutgers and Northwestern. So that leaves 3 more games that I see them that they can potentially win. That's on the road against Iowa, on the road against Nebraska, and at home against Minnesota. If they split 2 of those 3, this cashes in for us. So again, I think Wisconsin goes over this number. I think they're going to be competitive. I think their offensive line is really going to help them get the ball downfield, and they can definitely generate some points.
So 8-4 season gets it done. 8-4 season gets it done. 7-5 splits it. That seems manageable here for Wisconsin. So obviously now with the Pac-12 teams in there, it's a little different, right? When they tended to be on the easier side of the schedule, but when we look at the teams from the Pac-12 coming in, you're seeing USC in there, and you're seeing Oregon. Those are but only 2 that they're going to be facing from the Pac in there, and they're home to Purdue. We're going to see Northwestern's a team that kind of had I don't know how good they're going to be this year. That's a question mark.
They did good last year.
Yeah,
I took
right?
them a lot on the spread. They did really good for me last year against the spread, so definitely keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, and they do get Oregon at home. That's going to be an interesting game in November. What the weather would look like.
They have Bama at home too, week 3. That should be a good one.
No Saban.
No. Right? Exactly. That's why it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
And then USC right after that on the road. So I think that's definitely a good momentum game for them if they lose. Big game on the road against USC. So
they do have a bye they'll have a bye in between Alabama and USC. That will help them there. Actually, the USC game will be the first Big 12 conference game. So they start off with Western Michigan, South Dakota. So you'll get 2 in the pocket right there, right?
Hoping to start off 2 right there.
Right.
Then we just need 5 to have worst push, and I think we can do that with 10 games left.
Yeah, because you're out of conference is Alabama. Where's your other out of conference? Just 3 out of conference games here: Purdue, Rutgers, Northwestern, Penn State, Iowa, Oregon, Nebraska, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Wow. We're going 9 Big Ten games.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa's that's that
I like
team.
it. I like the way the Big Ten is this year. There's no split division. It's just the best 2 teams play it out for the conference title. It's how it should have been for so many guys.
And USC is going through a transition with quarterbacks. We're going to see what they do. They change the defensive coordinator. And the issue with USC has been the defense. Can the defense get better?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I think USC is going to have a really big down year. I'm a big Penn State fan, Penn State alum here, so I watch Big Ten football all the time. I think Penn State's going to have a good season. I think Wisconsin's going to have a good season. I think Washington will slip a little bit. I hate to say this, but I don't think Michigan will be all that great. I think they'll be good, but I don't see them going all out, balls to the wall like they did last season.
Yeah, you don't. They're not on the schedule. Ohio State, no Michigan there on the schedule, but you do have Penn State. Iowa's always that tricky game. It's going to be 9-7, 12-10. Who's going to win?
I have that Penn State game as a loss for them.
You do a loss there. What do you factor that Oregon?
Try
game?
not to be biased.
That Oregon game, right? They got Gabriel, right? Dylan Gabriel now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they do. Oregon's going to be good. I think Oregon's going to be a tough team in the Big Ten this year.
So Oregon, Penn.
I think it's just going to be tough for these teams that travel, whether it's to the West Coast team traveling to the East Coast or the East Coast team traveling to the West Coast. I think that's just going to be such a hassle because what are you going to be out there for all of 2 or 3 days just when your body transitions? Like, all right, let's go back home and practice for the next week's game.
Yep, and then having to deal with the rigors of going to class. There's a lot going on with these college kids. And then, of course, they close it out with Minnesota at home. That will be a short week. That one will be, that's going to be one of those funky Saturday games, Friday games after Thanksgiving, but at home. So that's going to be a short week for Minnesota. That will probably favor the home team.
That could decide it right there, to be honest. That could be our 8th win. Short week on Minnesota at home, close out the season. There we go.
And Minnesota always has troubles here with their quarterback. I mean, they just can't seem to find a quarterback. They run the football effectively. The defense is there, but it's just the quarterback play is where they have their issues.
Yeah, you're making me love this bet more and more, Tony, especially knowing that Minnesota's on a short week to end the season. Let's go.
Let's do it. No doubt about that. The second bye comes after Iowa, then they get Oregon at home. So they'll have incredibly they have buys between these against their 2 Pac-12 teams, which makes sense, right? Because you're going to probably need to study these games. You don't know these teams as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is gonna be nice. I'm really looking forward to this college football season, especially not just with the Big Ten and Pac-12 coming together, but with the Big 12 and SEC. I think it's gonna be a great landscape for college football.
The only wrinkle here is October 12th, 19th. They got back-to-back road games, and they're against the weaker foes at Rutgers, whose defense, no offense, and then at Northwestern on the back half of it.
Again, I think they can beat Rutgers. It's just a matter of stopping that Rutgers offense. I know that's crazy to say, but sometimes Rutgers offense just goes off randomly. Like, there's just some games you'll just score, and it's like, dude, just throw an interception. Like, drop the ball, do something.
Yeah.
And they just figure it out somehow. And it's just whenever they're home in Piscataway, that's all it is. Whenever they're on the road, they can't do shit. But when at home, they figure it out and just have great games. I don't know.
I know when they played Iowa, the game went over. There was like maybe 3 special teams touchdowns, or there was a fumble deep in the. So funky things happen sometimes in those Rutgers games, the turnovers, which drives you nuts. Mm-hmm. Because they get crazy. They'll call a passing play, the quarterback loses their mind and makes a mistake. But interesting here with over 7 regular season wins. You've got the coaching there. Who's going to be under center for Wisconsin this year?
Under center, I know quarterback is Tyler Van Dyke.
Okay.
Outside of that, I'll be honest, I haven't really looked much into it. I personally like Tyler Van Dyke. Yeah. I know we had an off season last year, but barring those injuries, I think this is a great offense with Luke Fickell for Tyler Van Dyke to get back to throwing the ball downfield, developing plays, generating offense. And again, I think this offensive line is really going to help him out too.
Yeah, that's always with Wisconsin, is that offensive line being able to pound him. And that's where I think that game against USC comes into play. When you have that offensive line, that's going to give USC trouble trying to get off the field.
Mm-hmm, no doubt. We see them struggle, especially against Notre Dame. Notre Dame has a tough offensive line, and we saw them struggle mightily last year against them in the years past. So, like you said, I think that's a big edge for Wisconsin for this one.
And, of course, there's still question mark with the USC quarterback. Yeah, that player shined in the bowl game, but we don't know how he'll look at it and when you have tape on him and if he could even win the quarterback battle there. But that should be interesting to see. USC, again, going in the Big Ten and still question marks about their defense. Even though they have the change in the defensive coordinator, we'll see if all the transfers come in, when all this shapes up. But that one should be a good one there. September 28th there, as USC will be hosting Wisconsin there in the Big Ten. There we got Joe here in Wisconsin, over 7 regular season wins. He'll take the 8-5 or the 8-4.
Yeah.
That's right. I'll take it, right?
No doubt.
That looks on right here. Looks good, like it'll happen. All right, Joey, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Minimal coverage on the games tonight. We've got a couple from baseball, a couple from W. Of course, Joey having a great year in the W this year. 313 units of profit. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Payment?
Yeah, so I have one MLB game just kicked off. It's on the Mets and the Nationals game, and then I have one WNBA game tonight. Like you said, I'm doing pretty solid in the WNBA. Cashed in 3 of my last 4. Just trying to look at other stuff other than baseball, and the WNBA has seemed to be money for me, so check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Get on board with Joey Tron over at Pick Dodge WNBA on the board. You can see Joey having a great WNBA season. May consider the long-term path, that 7-day pass. You guys like that early in the week. All the baseball we've got for you here for the week, WNBA, and use that promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. All right, Joey, as always, great having you show. Continued success. We'll catch up with you again later in the week, but we can always catch your NASCAR video series here.
Yeah, so you can catch my NASCAR series. It drops every Friday morning at Start Your Engines with Joey Tron, and I just go over my best bets, some track information, trends, history for everything coming up for the NASCAR's Cup Series race. This Sunday, they're at the Chicago Street Race. Definitely not one of my favorite races. It's more newer to the Cup Series, but I'll definitely have a video out. I'll definitely cap it pretty well and try to give you guys some winners.
That's right, guys. So check out Joey Tron over at Pick Dogs. Check out his video series. Of course, July 4th weekend's always popular in NASCAR.
No doubt. I'm excited again. Just because it's not my favorite race might not mean it's someone else's favorite race. So that's why I'm a man of the people. I'll have some of my best bets out there for you guys.
All right, guys. Check out Joey Tron there with the best bets there, man of the people. We haven't heard anybody yet on that. I don't want to even get in the hot dog contest or the chugging. I started seeing some of these chugging videos, just as disgusting as the hot dog eating contest they've got going on. But I don't even want to look at that nonsense. All right, Joey. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you again later in the week.
Thanks, Tony. Have a great night.
You got it. Joey Tron here on the drive-thru. We'll continue here on the show. Yeah, I don't know, that came up on my timeline on YouTube, and I'm looking at that stuff and I'm like, oh my God. And then now they got adding chugging to it. So guys just drink gallons of soda. I saw a guy drink a gallon of eggs. It was just disgusting. I just cannot buy into that stuff. All right, we got my pick. Let's get to the recap here for Monday. All right, and we'll bring him up here. Hope we filled the show pretty well, right? Appreciate Kirk's contributions. I got Copa, man. I'll fill it up with Copa. Sounds good. And Euros. All right, let's get to the recap. Here we go. David was on the Brewers, laid the run line. Javon on the Storm, laid the 11.5. Kirk on the Sun, laid the 2.5. We got Wisconsin over 7.5 regular season wins from Joey. Mine was team total over 5.5 with the Mets. That's already underway, plus 165. I got it just in a nick of time. One I like the most, the Storm's home. They're going to pound. I'll go over there with Javon there with the Storm tonight. All right, guys. Now it's time to put your picks, your show picks, into the chat, and we'll read them off. That's going to do it for this edition of the Drive. We'll be back again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. Bring our cappers and big dogs and sports chat place. What their place for in real time. Remember to always get started with that morning show. We're live here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We got Mitch. We got Chris. We got Jay. Of course, Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. His Bane Tool show. His roundtable discussions with the professionals. Lots of video series. We just heard from our man Joey Tron with his Start Your Engine with NASCAR in the morning with the NASCAR picks from Joey. We also have Kirk, very active here with his MLB totals. Of course, his soccer picks with Goron. We've got Javon with his parlay video picks up here. Of course, Brian Filler with his contrarian sharp trading plays as well. Against the public betting with Dana Lane with all access here with our man Big On McMorty. Of course, Costi, sharp trading plays as well there. Lots of video content. Of course, the baseball rundown here from our man Ron Romanelli. All right, let's go ahead and get your show picks for the show today, and we'll read them off here on the side. All right, let's see what we've got here. Ramon likes the Brewers run line with David. We've got Blake here. Rockies game under 11.5. He leans the Rockies money line. Let's see here. Ramon's play will be Wisconsin as well. Let's see, we get your show here. Rich 187 likes the Rockies at the plus 1.5 price. Rockies from Mims, rocking 1.5 with Rich. We already said that as well. Let's see here. Mets from Matt D. Colorado plus the 1.5 with Matt. Parlay from David Klinger. Mets and Milwaukee parlay at plus 210. Charles Ditton like Connecticut money line. Wings money line from Tyrese. Both NBA games over, or WNBA over tonight from Charles. Detroit Tigers tomorrow from Charles Ditton Jr. already come in with a pick for tomorrow. All right, I think we've got it here. Last call for your picks. Wings games under 167.5 from Bo Dunn coming in here. Home dogs tonight from Ron E. Cheap shots. All right, that's going to do it. All right, let's go ahead and bring our crew for tonight. We're going to wave goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon and evening.